Welcome back to Coach Factory. I'm Kathy, and this is the channel where we talk about your coaching business, how to have more fun coaching, how to reach more clients, and basically develop a business that supports you. Now, if you have not seen my interview with Justin Tillman, I highly recommend it. I will link that down below. But today I wanted to talk to you about client motivation. Why do people hire a coach? Why are your clients coming to you? What is in the minds of prospects and how do you sell to them? So, we're going to go over 10 reasons why people hire a coach, talk about how we can address those in your marketing and in your sales process. First of all, people hire coaches because they have a goal. They have something in mind that they would like to achieve and they don't think they can achieve it. They want someone to help them. They want to shortcut the time it takes to get to that goal achievement. Goal achievement is reason number one why clients hire coaches. Now, depending on what niche you're in, of course, those goals are going to be different, but there's some kind of aspiration that they have. So, how do you address this in your marketing? They're in a position where they feel some kind of angst or pain because they do not have that goal achieved yet, or it's taking too long, or they have a deadline. If you're a fitness coach and they have to get into a dress on their wedding day and they want to look their best, they don't feel like they're there. There's some kind of pain associated with that goal not being achieved. It usually isn't entirely aspirational. So you have to address the pain that they're soaking in right now and let people know that you are going to solve that pain. Now, in a sales call, your questions should center around what they're feeling, how they're thinking about that particular goal that they have. What pain do they have? Because when you can address the pain and at least show some empathy and sympathy for the pain that they are soaking in, you're going to make a connection. Now, another great thing about understanding what that pain point is that you can start to get a sense of how your clients are motivated. This prospect that's sitting in front of you has a particular way of being motivated. We learn this through motivation code. So they might be a driver and they have a goal and they want to get from point A to point B the fastest way possible. Or they might have a relator as one of their top motivational dimensions, and their relationships are very important to them. As they're talking about the pain that they're experiencing around that goal achievement that's off into the future, whatever they need help with, you'll get a sense of how they're motivated, and you can structure your responses to them in a way that addresses their motivational dimensions. Of course, you could use motivation code in that initial sales process. You can have somebody take the assessment and get an idea of what their motivations are. This, of course, would shortcut everything for you. But even if you don't have them take the assessment, you can still hear some echoes of what those motivational dimensions could be when they are speaking to you. Reason number two that prospective clients hire a coach is accountability, someone to answer to. Now, I have a teenager, and my teenager has two jobs. She has a job working fast food, and she has another job that is very kind of lackadaisical. She can work whenever she wants. She gets paid more money than the fast food job, but there's no structure to it. There's no accountability. So she has to have that inner discipline. Her boss is just like, if you want to work, you can work as much as you want. But she doesn't have that maturity level to have that inner accountability. So oftentimes she spends more time working on the job that she has accountability hours. She has a time that she has to be there. They're very strict with rules. That works really well for her. It's almost like her managers at the fast food job are like coaches. They are setting some structure, setting some rules. Now, with your clients, you're probably not as rigid as a fast food manager, but you are probably at least having some kind of scheduled calls in your coaching program, and your clients know that those calls are coming up. Just the feeling of knowing that there is a deadline of what is expected and what they are promising to do, that pin in the future on their calendar sets a different mindset for clients. They are coming to you because they want someone to help them stay on track, and just that appointment is going to help. Think about fitness again. When you have an appointment at the gym with a PT and they expect you there, you don't want to show up just to that appointment and not do anything. You're paying for that appointment. So you are more likely to stay on schedule with all of your workouts throughout the week. You're more likely to show up and give it your all because there's somebody watching you. When I was going to the gym with a physical trainer, I would go in, and just the fact that he was there working with someone else, I would feel like this pressure of accountability. What if he sees me not giving my all when I'm doing bench press? Just the fact that you have a relationship with your client provides that accountability, and they're coming to you for that. You just have to hold them to the promises that they've made to themselves, not even necessarily to you. They're paying for it. That is their way of asking for accountability. So give it to them by being there when they need you and just being present. That's probably the easiest part of a job. Now, in the sales process and in your marketing, this is something that you can key into. The fact that you are providing that accountability is often something that someone is looking for. They might not think so. They might just think, okay, well, I just need somebody to like keep me on track. But that accountability is such an important piece. As long as you frame it in a way that you are keeping them accountable to themselves, they are going to be motivated to sign on with you. Reason number 3 that clients hire coaches is your expertise. You've done it before. And this is where your story is so important in your marketing as well as in those sales calls. People are not going to even book you for a call if they don't think that you have the expertise, the knowledge, and the experience that they are looking for. They are coming to you because they don't have that. So your expertise needs to be in everything that you're doing marketing wise. Your story on your about page, keying into that story in all of your emails, in all of your videos. Make sure people know the journey that you've been on that has given you the expertise and given you the credibility to be that coach. You have had to walk a certain path, and that path probably has some pain associated with it as well. Sharing that not only helps your clients understand your expertise and your experience, but it's also going to allow them to see that you have the shortcuts, you have the knowledge, you have the expertise. This has got to be job one. If you don't have the expertise and the experience, it's going to be really hard to position yourself as a coach. So make sure that your story is infused with your journey, the pain that you've gone through. This is critical when selling coaching. Number 4, people are looking for personalized feedback. I mean, we've got AI, we've got Google. There are plenty of ways that you can get answers. It would not be that hard to design a plan to get from point A to point B, but you're not going to get personalized feedback. You're not going to get somebody's knowledge about, oh, okay, you're going through this. I understand this. One of my other clients went through this, and here's how we get you through this. Personalization in coaching is so critical, and it's important that in your marketing, you highlight that fact that you are there every step of the way. Now, one example that I have is I had some problem with my arm. It was in pain, and I went to the gym. It was my appointment for my PT, and I mentioned that I was having certain pain in my arm and it was really hard to lift. And my trainer was able to give me specific exercises that loosened up the tightness that I had in my arm. I thought that something was seriously wrong and I needed a doctor, but these exercises were personalized for the pain that I had. Just by doing this, I got personal help that saved me a lot of money from a doctor's visit and solved the problem of the pain in my arm. Now, I have a lot of physical things I need to do around the house. I have a husband who's disabled, so moving him around requires a lot of physical strength, which means I have to keep exercising. And I probably hurt my arm moving him. This was something that needed very personalized guidance, and I got that because I had a coach with the experience to identify what was going on with me and with the experience and the knowledge to give me the exercises that I needed in order to get me through that. Now, no matter what niche you're in, if you have the ability to give that personalized guidance, that's going to help your clients with things that they don't even know that they need yet, right? I mean, if you're a financial coach, your personalized guidance is going to help your clients achieve the goal that they want to achieve in a way that is unique to them. Not everybody's retirement goals or even where they're at right now with their financial pain is the same. Everybody's pain is a little bit different because our lives are also different. So that personalized guidance is so important. In your marketing, whether your website, your emails, your videos, showcase the fact that you give that personalized guidance. The best way to do so is with some kind of case study where you can underscore the fact that this client had a very personalized issue and you helped them through it. When you're on a sales call, ask as many questions as possible. Let your client speak as much as possible. This is the only way you're going to get to know them and understand who they are and what their personalized needs are. They don't really need you as a coach. They could research it themselves. It's going to take longer, but that personalized guidance is going to help them solve problems so much faster, so much easier because you're right there with them. You have to get that knowledge, that understanding of where they are at in those sales calls. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to provide that personalized feedback. The next reason why clients come to you is clarity and focus. Now, you don't necessarily have to provide the clarity. I'm sure you've been in coaching sessions where you have actually asked your client a question and they have an aha moment, almost like you're a spectator too. They get it just because of the question that you've asked, where you don't have the clarity and you need more information in order to help them. But just by asking that question, they see things in a different way. Clarity and focus is so important when you are trying to achieve a goal because oftentimes when you're trying to achieve something, you need a new perspective. You have to become a different person in order to have a different experience. So it requires a mindset shift. That only comes through clarity. It comes through a better understanding of who you are, better understanding of the goal and your reasons for the goal. Now, some people might have a goal and the reasons for the goal shift completely, and then the goal shifts, but that only comes through self-knowledge. There's nothing better than coaching to get someone to that self-knowledge. Now, in your marketing, a case study where you show these kinds of mindset shifts can be incredibly powerful for a prospect to understand the benefits of coaching. They might not even understand that the thing that they want is achieved through a shift in who they think they are. This personalized clarity is something that only comes through coaching. So make sure you put it front and center in your marketing materials. And when you're in a sales call, having a mindset shift in a sales call is something that can immediately get people to sign up. If you can help somebody just by asking the right questions in a sales call to see their goal differently, to see themselves differently, it shifts everything. That first sales call is not really a sales call. It's a coaching call. You're coaching them to the decision of signing up for your coaching program. So make sure you bring that clarity and create space for that clarity to come from their own insights just by the questions that you ask. Reason number 6 why people come to coaches is for skill development. And skill development can be anything from being a better public speaker, a better decision maker in the kitchen, a better decision maker when it comes to parenting a teenager, whatever your niche is. But oftentimes those skills are things that, we as coaches, we can kind of take those things for granted because we've been down that road. We assume that people are more skilled in what we're coaching about than they actually are. Sometimes these skills can be incredibly simple. Sometimes the skill is just better self-confidence in dealing with the situations that they are focused on. Make sure that your marketing materials showcase the skills that you have and how well you transfer those skills to your coaching clients. Case studies, testimonials, videos, all very important so that people understand that they are going to walk away from a coaching program better equipped to deal with whatever problems they're facing, better equipped with knowledge, better decision making, and better skills. And sometimes those skills only come with experience. So they have to go down that road as well. You're not doing it for them, but you are standing on the sidelines as they see that they've got whatever it takes within them. Skill development is often just walking down that path. But as coaches, we make sure that our clients walk down that path with a supportive hand and somebody who is going to be able to give them knowledge along the way that's very personalized. So make sure that all of your marketing materials explain this, and in that sales call that you fully understand what skills that someone needs to develop in order to get to the goal that they are after. So you have to ask important questions about what they've done in the past and see where those gaps are so you can help your client fill them. Reason number 7 is overcoming obstacles. Now, sometimes these obstacles are only in our client's mind, but they're obstacles nonetheless. If they are trying to get into that dress on their wedding day, there is an obstacle, and that obstacle can show up in a number of different ways. It might just be bad decisions in the kitchen. It might be that they are living with people who put unhealthy foods in front of them. That might have relationship obstacles. So overcoming these obstacles that oftentimes our clients aren't even aware of. The obstacles might even be limiting beliefs. They might not even see how something is possible because they have beliefs in the way. These beliefs can be obstacles. So removing them and replacing these obstacles with a smoother ride to the achievement of their goals. This is our job as coaches, and they are coming to you to help figure out what these things are. Now, a client might come to you saying, I have this goal that I want to achieve, but they have obstacles in the way that are in their own mind. And really what they're after is something that is different than the goal that they state. It's our job as coaches to understand what these goals actually are and what our clients are really after. That's why asking those questions in sales calls, in coaching calls is so important, because they're going to get the clarity and the insight that they need from those questions more than anything else. Number 9 is improved performance. Now, this could be performance in the gym, performance in a sport. This could be performance on the job, performance at home. There's some kind of performance activity that they have as their goal. Maybe you are a fitness coach and they are coming to you because they have a marathon that they would like to run and they don't see the way forward in order to do that, or maybe the time frame of the marathon. These have a set deadline. You have to be ready by a specific date, and they don't think that they are able to do it. Maybe they have a specific time that they're after. There's some kind of performance metric that they are after. If this is something that you have helped other clients with, make sure these metrics are available in the testimonials, in your case studies, in all of your marketing materials, that you can list out, helped client A achieve whatever the goal was, get to a sub 3-hour marathon if that was the goal. Whatever these goals are, make sure you explain this and use those numbers. Nothing tells the story like statistics do. If you're a fitness coach, make sure you're listing whatever the goal was and how you get your client there, but give numbers where you can. Somebody's coming to you saying, I want to lose 20 pounds by X date. Explain how you did it, if it was even possible. Sometimes people are like, I want to lose 20 pounds by next week. Yeah, okay. you can like dehydrate yourself. But anyway, you need to give the numbers, make sure they're realistic. And in your initial sales calls, make sure you understand what these imagined outcomes look like in terms of what numbers people have in their head. If it is financial coaching, that you understand what retirement looks like for whoever you're doing retirement coaching for. If they want $2 million in the bank and they only have $1 million in the bank and they want to retire in 5 years, is that a realistic thing? Make sure you have an understanding of what their goal is, and if they have numbers associated with it, that you get those things in alignment and you get those things down on paper so that you can benchmark what you have done for your clients. Because eventually, 6 months from now, they're going to look back and say, was that successful? We've been working together 6 months and I've only achieved this amount, and that's not good enough. You want to make sure that you, in those sales calls, that you are not over promising, because then you can't help but under deliver. So make sure that you are under promising what is possible and over delivering, because it's going to make for a better testimonial and a better client experience. If you can help them achieve more than what they expect, those are the perfect kind of clients. When somebody comes in and says, I want to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, you do the math and realize that they can do it in a lot less time. But we have to also ascertain their comfort level with the changes that are required in order to do that. So make sure you have an understanding of what their expectations are in terms of the performance, and that you can under promise and over deliver. So important in any sales. I know a lot of salespeople want to over promise because that feels good, right? To go into a sales call and say, yeah, we can do this and we can do even better. But eventually, it's time to pay the piper, right? You have to have some results. Important to under promise so that you can deliver more than what your customers expect. And our final, number 10, people are coming to you oftentimes for emotional support. When you are trying to achieve something, it brings up all sorts of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. And sometimes these emotions can be difficult. There can be frustration. There can be sort of this feeling of feeling lost, because if someone's trying to achieve something they've never done before, they are automatically going into uncharted territory. They're going somewhere they've never gone before. And when you go somewhere you've never gone before, it brings up all kinds of discombobulated emotions because it's not familiar. You're going into something that you've never experienced. And if you haven't experienced something in the past, it just feels weird. So it's going to bring up fear. It's going to bring up frustration. It's going to bring up conflict with people in your life because you're doing something different than what they expect. All of these things are important to guide your clients through so that they can get to whatever it is that they are after. So make sure you're prepared to deal with all of those emotions. And in your marketing material, make sure you explain that situation, that people are going into places that they've never gone before, and having someone next to them to cheer them on, to help them stay focused, to help them deal with some of those fears and the emotions that come up when they're doing something they've never done before. Make sure you explain that. A great testimonial from a client showcasing how you were the emotional support that they needed as they achieved a great goal, that's going to knock it out of the park. And even in those sales calls, super important to hear what your client's saying and to be emotionally supportive. They need to experience that in the sales call so that they understand that no matter what emotions come up around the goal that they're trying to achieve, that you're going to be there to support them, to understand them, to not judge them. All of these things will ensure that your next prospect can't wait to sign up. I hope all of this was helpful to you to think about marketing and sales in your coaching practice, but also think about your purpose as a coach. What are you there to do? You can't do it for your client. All you can do is be on the sidelines, understand what their goals are, and encourage them to achieve because they've got to do the work. When my husband was dealing with some food issues, he would ask me for help. I need you to cook healthy things. And so I would cook healthy things. And then he would turn around and go to McDonald's. And I would often say to him that I can be as much support to you as I can be, but I can't control what happens between your hand and your mouth. That is something that you have to have control over, and I'm here to emotionally support you with, but I can't do it for you. And as coaches, even as friends, we can't help other people change themselves. They have to make a decision, but we can be there as emotional support. We can provide encouragement. We can even give them the guidance of making better decisions for themselves. Our role as coaches is sort of a hybrid of a best friend and an expert, someone to be the emotional support, someone to be a listening ear, someone to help solve the problems, and also someone with the expertise. If you can blend all of these things together, sales is going to be easier, marketing is going to be easier, and your coaching process is going to be a lot easier too, as well as your retention. I hope all of this was helpful. We'll see you next time on Coach Factory. Once again, go look at Justin's interview. It's linked down below. I learned so much from him, and I hope you do too. We'll see you next time.